You're watching Suddenly Ducks. I'm Bermuda.
And I'm Phil.
And we're about to play Shadowrun. Warren has more details about that.
With centaur bodies and 80 cyberdicks. Right. So, yeah, where you guys left off, you pulled a whole load of shenanigans the other week and got involved in a lot of things. Mostly around finding a decker, but then that job is going to take a while and you don't really have any clues per se, so you guys decided to go ahead and try and find work elsewhere. You found a number of jobs, but as a surprise to Tex more than anyone else, Tex received a message through a secured file server that he knows about from an old friend of his back in Austin, and it's kind of a long message, so I don't know if you want to read it out, Tex, or basically
I
the
could
message.
read like the last paragraph, maybe.
Yeah, well, basically the last message kind of like details that you should meet that person alone. So I mean, we could just zoom to that if you want to, because you guys are all apart doing various things. I can't remember. Did you guys all move into an apartment now, or did you do it at the start of next month?
It will be next month.
Yeah.
Because either way, you'll still have to pay the rent. But yeah. Okay. All right. So, if you want to just explain to them the message you got, Tex, or not, and we can just jump into the scene where you go meet that dude, and they can just be completely clueless. I don't mind. It's totally up to you, since you got the message.
Well, I'll just read him the last paragraph, because that kind of sums it up.
All right.
If there's any honor left in the man you once were, meet Walker in the GPS locator in the industrial zone in Everett. I'm sending along with this message. He will have all the details, and he'll tell me what happens. If things work out, I'll wire you your Nuyen. Hopefully it will all give us some... hopefully it will give us all a little more than that. Some peace of mind, too. Regards, Ben.
Yeah. So, just to sum it up, Aaron's an old-time contact of his, another officer down in Austin. Basically the message is a lot longer than that, but basically some of it is they paid a man to, drum up the leads they all had from the various little sacrifices that happened in there. Basically, Austin is right on the border with Aslan, and there's a lot of blood magic shit that goes on a lot. And a lot of Lone Star cops, which Tex was at one point, were disappearing on patrols, and Tex had the unfortunate reality of ending up being one of those supposed to go missing cops. When he encountered a bunch of blood spirits that tried to kill him and his partner, he managed to get away from it. His partner wasn't so lucky. And then he basically was mentally scarred by it in his backstory, and essentially made a run for it because he didn't want to die and he was sick of all the shit. So the people who stayed there kind of look on Tex as he's kind of a coward, if you know what I mean. But for the better part of 2 years now, they've been trying to find out who sold them out to the Blood Mages, either from Az Technology or Aslan or whatever the hell was going on there, because clearly someone was, if they were deliberately sending men to die in certain patrols without any backup or any way of getting out of it, and it was all covered up, etc., etc. So they paid this guy called Walker, who only Aaron knows about right now in character. So the guy asked you to meet. Well, the message says to meet this guy in private, Tex. Do you want to do that, or do you want to inform these guys, or do you want to do try and find out more about this guy? The meeting is in 4 hours from when you receive the message or something.
Yeah, I just matrix search him myself and then go meet up with him.
Alright, well, go ahead and do a matrix search then. Okay, so you knew pretty much jack shit. Let me see, I'll alter what you know. Don't want to edge it or anything now? You're okay as is?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Then, do you want to make this information available to all of them eventually anyway, so I can just link it to everybody, or...?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, can you all see that now?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's what you learn about him.
You get a text from Tex saying that he's going to go meet up with this guy, and he'll let you know how it goes.
I text
Smiley
back.
face.
Need any backup?
You get a response that says, I should be fine.
Okay.
Alright, well, if you're already done reading or whatever, just tell me when and I'll change the scene.
Oh, yeah, I've read his thing.
Okay, so the meeting place, Tex, is in Everett. It's near the docks. Well, sorry, not near the... Yeah, near the docks, actually. In an old abandoned factory near a power plant. And it's kind of a ruin. It's one of the less... It's one of the areas of Everett that's, like, pretty run down. Probably one of the worst areas. It's not like it's gang affiliated or anything. It's literally just like an industrial wasteland which nobody really goes to anymore. It's like cited for reinvigoration some point in the future, but whenever it comes around, it seems to get pushed back again and again by either the UCAS or the Seattle Metroplex government, and it's just kind of been left there to rot. So whoever picked this place knows it's pretty much abandoned and very unlikely to draw any attention whatsoever. In fact, it's so old that it's not even part of the wireless matrix. It's still on the wired one, and it's just been left to, like, as I said, rot because nobody cares about it. So signal here is pretty much non-existent to, like, very noise affiliated. Anyway, you get there and it looks like this. So I don't know how you get there. Do you get like a taxi, or do you walk, or what do you do? Because I don't think you have a car.
Assuming Johnny Cab goes out there, I'd just take one of those.
Yep, sure. So the guy drops you off like a couple of streets away because he doesn't want to go too far in, because it's like pitch black most of the way because the lights are broken, flickering, or not working. And it's pretty late at night, and when you get there, it's pretty much like, this is the exact coordinates here, and it's pretty much a ghost town. Like, you can't hear anything. There's not even the sound of animals or anything. It's pretty eerie, and it's dark as shit. So what do you want to do?
Well, first of all, I'll be looking not human, really. I'll be looking like an orc, scruffy looking, maybe fitting a little better. And I'll just kind of wander around, not trying to look too conspicuous, but using my like ultrasound, low light, thermal, and vision enhancement to try to spot anybody.
Okay. Well, do a perception check for me then. If you're gonna try to look for someone. Okay, you think you see movement once or twice, but it sort of fades out of view very quickly, and you're fairly certain someone is trying to avoid yours in some way, playing with you.
Can I tell from like what direction I saw the movement?
Yeah, you're pretty sure you saw it on the roof of the building ahead of you.
Alright, yeah, I'll start like moseying on like slowly towards the roof, and when I get somewhat close, I'll give a little wave.
Alright, so you wave, and then you hear like a whistle, and you see this man up here light a cigarette, and he just sort of smiles at you and, waves his hand to come on up, and then he sits against the wall.
Do I see a way up there?
Yeah, there's a ladder like over to the right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then up.
So as I make my way up the ladder, I'll change back into human.
Okay, so the guy just sort of smokes, takes a drag, and then blows out, and then just looks at you and goes, "Neat trick, kid."
Yeah, it keeps me a little bit incognito when I come out to places like this.
He just sort of smiles and nods again and says, "Smart, that's good. Smart's good." And then he just sort of looks around for a moment and says, "No follow, yeah?"
Yeah, I came alone like the message said. You're Walker, I presume.
He takes another drag and just sort of looks you up and down and says, "The one and only. You, Ben's contact?"
Yep, that's me. Name's Tex.
He just sort of, like, grimaces again and says, "Yeah, I heard all about you. Heard you're kind of a coward." And, like,
Yeah,
he says it without any sort of, like, remorse or, guilty, or, he just says it matter of fact, if you know what I mean.
Ben's a little butthurt about the whole Shadowrun thing.
Yeah. So he just sort of smiles again, takes another drag, and says, "Well, bad business. Can't say I blame you. I don't generally get involved in the dirt myself. I just sort of look from afar. It's kind of my thing.
Safer that way, I presume.
I'm a lot more profitable, kid. You don't die quite so young either." And then he, throws a cigarette to the ground and kicks it out with his foot. So we should probably just get down to business then. Right. So your friends and you are in a whole heap of trouble. Far more than even, I thought it would be when I heard blood spirits. I presume you have, like, some guesses as to what exactly happened all those years ago.
Yeah, as technology and blood magic comes to mind.
And he sort of nods and says, "You'd be right on the mark with that one." Issue is, it goes a bit deeper than that, and I'm not quite sure who, but let's put it this way: it seems the tendrils of this thing touch more than a megacorp, or at least more than one. Problem with this is, I generally don't deal with the megas. To be honest with you, they're some of my best clients, and I've worked for Raz Technology on a couple of occasions. But I'm a man of my word, and Ben and your buddies paid a pretty good new one to make me look into this. So I'm not going to say I'm not a professional, and it's not like I'm beholden to anyone, but I'm not going to go against Raz Technology, and I'm not going to step on their feet. Is that understood? This is as far as I go with this.
Understandable.
Alright, so he smiles again, and he takes out a actual, like, tracer sheet thing, if you know what I mean. It's not like paper, it's like that nano paper thing they have that can copy images, and he hands it to you. And he says, click the, or, swipe your finger across it, because it's basically just a touchscreen thing.
Yeah, I'll flip through it.
Alright, and then as you flip through it, it encodes your fingerprint, and he says, "Won't open for anyone else but for you from now on. Safer that way." And it opens up onto an image of a woman from far off, as if it was taken through some sort of SimSense scope or a drone or something like that, but it's been magnified a few times and cleaned up a little. CSI should, basically, but not quite as good as they make it out to be in CSI, even in the future. And he says, "That's the woman you're looking for. She's not the one who did you and your buddies in, but she's definitely deep in it. Her name is, let me find her name real quick. Her name is Elin Tatyana. As far as I know, she's pretty big in Horizon, or at least she's a mid-level exec. Not too important, and she kind of handles their darker details, to say the least. As far as I know, she's a professional threat response decker, and she spends most of her time scouring the Matrix, cleaning up any of Horizon's unmentionables or any other affiliates, if you get my meaning. She has some dirt that you're going to want. I can't go any further than this because everything leads back to her, and it seems that she was the digital cleanup crew, so to speak, for you and your friends' grisly demise. I'm sure you and everyone else were just as weirded out by the fact none of it hit the papers or the news at all. She's the reason why."
So as Tex is flipping through this thing, is there like an address or location for her?
Yeah, there is. It skims ahead a few couple of pages, and you get to a hotel, or sorry, a motel, and the motel is called the let me find it, the La Quinta Inn and Suites in Tacoma. Okay, and actually, do you have knowledge Shadowrunning or knowledge corporate or anything like that?
I have Shadowrun Community.
Yeah, you can roll that to try and know anything about that motel.
Is it a safe house?
It is not a safe house.
It's a danger house.
Roadhouse.
Okay, so you've only, well, unless you want to edge it, but you've only heard of it in, like, side speak now and then, dropped every now and then, sort of in conversations. But as far as you're concerned, it's literally just one of the more upmarket motels in like central Tacoma, which they basically revitalized or at least tried to in the economic push a while back. Like most of central Tacoma, or at least those along the interstate. But despite that, you haven't heard much about it. And then he sort of smiles and says, "I can see that you're not too clued in about this kid, so I'll drop you a hint. The place is far more than it looks. I don't know if you've ever, heard the rumors about that place, but it's essentially a den of vipers. If you're going to go there, you got to be careful. It's far more than it seems. Word on the street is, and I can confirm this with some pretty good sources, that it's generally a meeting place for middle management types for corps, yakuza, triad, vory, everything in between. So where they go is sort of a nondescript location to talk about things that can't be mentioned anywhere else except straight up, with nobody else listening in, if you get my meaning. And the landlord, well, nobody knows who it is, but the manager is one. What's the manager's name? Give me a sec. The manager's name is one Robert Christian. He's a dwarf, and he's very good at his job, and that job is information brokering and management. Everybody who goes there can be assured that if they pay him enough, nobody else will know their secrets. And she's currently been holed up in there for a little over a month now, so whatever she's doing there is pretty big. I don't think she's met anyone, but I can't really get close enough to surveil that much because the place is, well, I mean, let's put it this way. You know the way drones deliver things from Amazon? Well, the drones around there, let's just put it this way, they aren't delivering packages. They're keeping a lookout for snoops. Getting close is difficult to say the least, and the security is a lot more detailed than it looks.
Do you know if they have security on the Astral as well as drones?
Whole 9 yards, my friend. Astral, Matrix, drones on the ground, and surprisingly enough, everywhere else around that zone, if you look into it and look at the zoning requirements, is, at best maybe a C response team from Knight Errant. That place is a double A, and that place alone, for literally about 10 miles around. Strange, no?
Yeah, funny how that works. Now, you said she was working for Horizon, but this place gets mostly used by criminal types. Do you know if Horizon also makes use of it?
Like I said, Chummer, everything in between. Megas are pretty much our organized crime half the time. This is a place that the likes of, the Japano Corps talk to their Yakuza buddies and whatnot. So you can pretty much find everything in between there. As for Horizon, she wouldn't be there if they didn't use it.
Warren, it didn't say in the message what dude was going to pay us for this, did it?
No, it did not. Okay, so he just says, "Oh yeah, pay." There's a little bit of a snag with that. I don't have the authorization to give you any payment, but Ben indicated that, well, let's put it this way. He more or less ran out of you a while ago, and he more or less said that you owe me a favor if this is going to go down. And I've put up my end of the deal, so you owe me that favor. But you're in luck because the favor involves the same person.
So what do you need?
Well, you're going there to get access to her cyberdeck or commlink. I want access to the same information. You can take what you need from it, and I'll take what I need from it. But I take the physical item. Is that understood?
You want her deck?
More her commlink, or at least wherever she keeps her files.
Yeah, I can snag your commlink, assuming it's with her.
Yep. Just bring me the commlink, and as soon as we get it decrypted, you can take what information you need on those who sold you out, and I'll take what I need. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, sounds fair enough. What exactly is your interest in this little lady?
Like I said, I don't usually work for people quite so low on the pay bracket as your friends, but when enough of them coughed up a couple years of salary, it tends to work out pretty even. There's other interested parties in this woman, and there's quite a bit of pay data on that a couple of my contacts would be more than interested in.
Very well. There's any other information we should know about this?
He shakes his head and says, like I said, my part in this is done. I tracked this woman down for the better part of like near on a year now. She's been pretty hard to find, and even not even getting her down to just in one area was pretty hard to do. You're gonna have to be careful in that motel, though. It's like I said, it's a lot more than it seems. I wouldn't go in, guns blazing if that's what your usual modus operandi is.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at finding my way into places without too much trouble. And Tex is gonna give him a judge intentions.
Sure. Okay, he seems to be quite straight and legit with you, but you can tell he's like, it's not that he's hiding anything from you, it's just he, like, more or less doesn't think you can manage this. Let's put it that way.
Alright then, Walker, how you want us to get into contact with you after we got the commlink?
He just sort of fiddles through his, pockets for a minute and says, "Where is that damn thing?" And then he pulls out a commlink, pretty fancy one, and swipes his finger across it a few times, and you get a ping on your commlink, and it's like clearly contact details. And he says, "That way."
We'll be in touch. And Tex starts leaving.
Okay, and he just, takes another cigarette and lights it up, and as you're going down, he says, "Kid, be careful. This is not going to be a milk run, and what happens after is going to be far worse."
Yeah, we'll be careful.
So, Warren, can you explain what a AA rating means? Like, security-wise?
It means if you shoot up the place, or
Yeah.
someone presses a panic button, you can expect a knight errant response team in like 5 to 10 minutes.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
So if it does go loud, we have to smash and grab.
Yep. Okay, so you still don't know what Ben's gonna pay you, Tex, and he didn't, Walker didn't know either. It seems Ben sort of pulled one on you and promised this guy something else in return, hoping that you'd be as interested in this as he is. So whatever Ben and his group have conjured up, you have no idea. So now you have to convince the rest of the crew to either do this for you, not knowing if they're even going to get paid, or what else. It's up to you.
Yeah, so Tex will send a God, it's gonna trip me up every time I say it.
Yeah.
Tex sends a text to the rest of the group saying that the meeting's done and we should all meet up.
So where do you guys want to meet up?
Let's meet at the new house.
We don't live there yet.
Let's break into the new house.
You put a down payment on it. This is what it looks like, actually, because I already had it done earlier. You guys can meet in Tex's old apartment if you want to.
Ooh.
Ah, you moved back.
Kix doesn't have a bedroom because I figured centaurs, can't sleep on beds. So
We get our stable.
We have two
Yeah.
balconies.
yes.
My bed isn't going to
Only
stay white
two
for long.
balconies.
Only two, yeah.
This is outrageous. I want a new place.
Alright, well, I guess you guys meet in Tex's actual apartment as is.
Well, yeah.
When are we exactly moving into the old one?
End
Next
of the month,
month.
as far as I know.
Alright, so would we have to pay rent for our current accommodations?
You already
We
did.
are.
Alright,
Yeah, you'll pay the rent of the new one come the new one. So
alright.
Well, please
Okay.
make yourselves at home.
So another event happens in the time that you guys were, taking a break and doing things, and Tex was going to his meeting. Let me just find it. Okay, so do you guys keep abreast of like the news going down in Seattle and things like that?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we would.
I'm not talking about my handouts. I'm talking about like, do your guys actually like watch the news or pick up like the paper or whatever?
Yeah, Tex watches Newsnet.
Okay, so ever since Blackhaven basically announced his first stage of his plan, things have been going from shit to worse all over Redmond. Especially Redmond, but in other places as well, like parts of Tacoma, parts of Everett, parts of what's it called? I can't never
Puyallup.
pronounce it.
The
Puyallup,
correct name
that's
is,
it.
Puyallup. Locals
Okay.
call it Pile Up.
Or I'll just call it Pile Up then. So yeah, basically all the sinless and the disenfranchised and the people on very poor wages who have been depending upon government handouts to basically get by have been in an absolute rage. The Orc Underground has been outspoken about it. The various like political groups who advocate, equality for meta-humanity that isn't just humanity, and like all these other, slogan groups have all been, protesting rather peacefully for the most part, but Blackhaven has sort of responded with some heavy-handed tactics. He's essentially, deployed night errant riot squads pretty much all over downtown, all over Bellevue, all over Renton, and it's almost impossible for like metahumans and large groups to get anywhere without being, shaken down. There's, trid vids all over the matrix of night errant security officers beating the shit out of like orc women or, punching gnomes and things like that. And everything else in
Pregnant
between.
orc women.
Robot.
You're a robot.
Oh, Jesus.
That was a bad robot. So basically, things are getting to the boiling point, and a small amount of riots have started occurring in Redmond. And when I mean small, I mean like Redmond level small. So automatic weapons and like armored police vehicles.
Where does Tex live?
Redmond.
Yep.
I just stay at home and communicate
So
with
so long as
text.
so long as you're in Touristville, you're fine. But all the rest of Redmond is like literally armed mobs are breaking down barricades, taking over buildings, and like shooting pretty sophisticated weaponry at like police officers, basically.
I
actually-
live there.
Yep.
So.
Wait, so there's looting and crap going on, right?
Yep, mostly in Redmond. It hasn't really spilled over anywhere else, and only in like the worst parts of Redmond.
So Tersville's alright, but like where Giant lives is shit.
So,
Basically, everywhere. Actually, I'll need to find the actual Redmond map. Where is it? Everywhere from east of there is pretty much falling to shit.
what is like, is there any valuable like shit going, like stores, like in any of those areas?
There's no real valuable stores in Redmond, point blank. But
Alright.
like anyone that has anything is using it to throw it at the cops now. So like black market dealers have like full out just like given their guns to people to
Alright.
like shoot at the cops
Yeah.
and things like that. So
What the fuck are the cops doing east of Touristville?
a lot of them are trying to secure the bargain basement and Union Hill, and basically the worst affected zones are in between here and here because it's essentially like a small battlefield of random skirmishes.
As an elf, would the cops shoot on sight, or like assume he's a fighter?
No, they're still applying with like the UKS law. They can't shoot people randomly,
Alright,
but plenty of
okay.
people are shooting at them to give excuses for them to like shoot first and ask questions later.
So, as an elf, could I like pass by as like a human if I disguise myself well enough?
If you covered up your ears and covered up your angular face, yeah, sure, because elves tend to have more angular faces than humans.
Alright, if you want a backstory for this, then I'll try and figure one out. But she would like to like walk the battlefields and like pick up any spare guns he finds and shit like that.
Ah,
Yeah, if you can come up with a backstory for that, sure.
Yeah, alright.
The guns won't be great, but yeah, you could do it.
Also, if he gets in a fight, he just
Shoots him in the knee with his bow and arrow repeatedly.
Yeah,
Just
but basically
run
every
around.
day and even like every hour, it seems the riots are like intensifying. Like at the start, it was just like random disagreements. There was like pushing, shoving. There was use of tear gas. There was riot gear. Then it escalated to like gel rounds and things like that, and then it escalated from that to like live ammunition. And now there's like the actual organized gangs of Redmond are like grabbing anyone who can hold a gun and basically giving them some pretty serious weaponry. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And other gangs are using this as an excuse to like throw their firepower at other gangs, which are wasting theirs at the police and everything else. And it's turning into like even worse than it's ever been, basically.
Quick question, I don't know, but where are
Yeah.
like the ancients mainly based around?
All of Seattle.
Well, alright, is there any like major one in Redmond?
Yeah, there would be a chapter house in Redmond somewhere.
They're mainly in Puyallup, aren't they?
They're technically all over the place, but their main headquarters is there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a Go Gang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like just on the roads.
Yeah.
Alright.
Warren, I sent a text to my cop contact, just asking him how he's doing with the trouble and telling him to keep his head down.
So is he with Lone Star or Knight Errant?
He's with Knight Errant.
Okay, he is in the shits. Like, is he like a beat cop or is he like a desk jockey?
He's a beat cop in Touristville.
Yeah, he's right in the shits. Like, completely. Like, he's had, bottles thrown at him, Molotov cocktails going off, bricks being flung at his head. He's probably got hit by a gel round at some point, and a bunch of other things.
I just tell him to keep his head down, and if it gets, too deep and he needs a hand, feel free to send me a text.
Okay, well, you're lucky your job today does not take you anywhere near Redmond. It takes you to Tacoma. And if you're interested, it takes you, let me get the map up. I altered the map a bit. Like, that's where your new apartment is going to be. It's just called the apartment for, like, the people in Richville now.
Where, sorry?
That's the blue circle on them. Yeah.
Ooh, Clyde Hill.
Yeah.
Nice.
So your job today is going to take you to here. Where is it? Yeah, Tacoma Junction. So the place you're going to is right around there. It's like I said, it's on the inner sort of part of Tacoma, so it's a bit more refurbished than like the outskirts of it. So it's quite a nice area, if not very populated, because nobody who lives in Tacoma, except like very odd rich people or people have very particular reasons to be there, can actually afford apartments around that area. So, yep, you're all in Texas apartment. You all hear about the riots and everything else. I guess you all meet up. That was the plan, yeah. Right, so Tex seldom, doing a job with potentially no pay, or at least ambiguous pay.
Well, first, can I get anybody anything? A soy egg, any other soy-based products?
I think I'm done with soy eggs today. Wait, actually.
Does Firehead just come to Tex's apartment to take showers?
Yeah, he doesn't have a shower at home.
No, I don't have a shower at home.
I'll take a beer.
Soy beer.
Oh yeah, I got all the popular soy beer brands.
So how's
Great.
Murdoch feeling today, by the way?
Keep forgetting which way round it is. I think that's actually manic.
That's depressed, I'm sure. It's
Yeah.
like,
That is depressed.
1 to
6
2 is
is
depressed,
normal.
3 to 4 is manic, 5 to 6 is normal.
I'll recheck just in case. I think you're right there.
He's depressed about the riots. Is he depressed about the old lady he works for? Is he worried she'll get hurt?
Yeah, of course. That's she's very old.
leave the road
I might have to
in there
call her up.
protect her.
So Tex says, so I met with this Walker fella.
Yes, I'm depressed.
Mm-hmm. What's the job?
So
Well, it wasn't
apparently,
I.
the person that was behind all this trouble is some Nova Hot Decker who works for Horizon. And basically the job is to get our hands on her, get her equipment. The J basically just wants her commlink, and that leaves the rest of her electronics to us. She's supposed to have some pretty heavy hitting gear that we can sell for some new yen. But as far as payment options, it's sort of up in the air right now. It's pretty much dependent upon what she has on her.
Yeah, that's her name. She didn't she just cleaned up the evidence of everything that went down, so she has a great deal of names and information that will lead you to the people that actually basically condemned you to die. But she's not the one who did it herself personally. She just cleans up after people.
So yeah, basically, if we can find her, that'll lead us to the actual masterminds of the event.
This job, Dex, it is important to you, yes.
Yeah, the people that did this are they're not very nice, and you could say it's personal. They tried to take me out, and they took out a lot of my friends.
Then you'll have Giant's help.
Decker, right? I mean, she's got, and he only wants commlink. We can take the deck. How much do they sell for if it's a pretty good shit?
I mean, brand new, they sell for 6 figures, but for a decent deck, I could probably get us like 50 to 100,000 for it on the black market resale.
Got my interest.
You're gonna sell that thing?
That's another NPC.
Well, if it's better than yours, then probably not. But
well, yeah, we could always trade you up kicks and then sell one of your old decks.
That's what I'm thinking.
sell that. We didn't sell that shit we picked up, did we? All the.
Not yet.
Sold the guns.
Yeah.
Kix is using it, but her old one is super damaged, so it won't sell for very much.
Shit we picked up from the drug dealers.
Not yet.
Oh, the BTL computers? No, not yet.
Maybe we should do that later.
Yeah, so you've got my help, but you owe me one tax.
Where did this Governor Blackhaven thing come from?
I just popped it up because he's been on the news a lot lately. So that's for later.
Very subtle name change there, Warren.
I know, right? Allows me ambiguously to do whatever the fuck I want.
A governor, what is it? What place of power is that? I actually don't know.
It's like a
Seattle downtown.
Yeah.
So is he the overall voice, or is he a part of a council of?
Think what Arnold Schwarzenegger was.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, that makes sense.
He's a governor of Washington State, which is basically just Seattle in the UK.
Thank you.
He's the one that made you all have to move in together.
What?
Yes, all of us, Warren.
All the normal people, to a degree.
All the normies.
Except
There's a
flowers.
horse living with them.
Because they oddly left that out of, for some reason, I don't know.
Yep.
Because rules as written, she doesn't occupy more space than a human.
By the way,
Well,
Warren,
being in the middle of a
war zone, have I had any PTSD-related flashbacks?
You have not.
Okay.
If you get the centaur body, I don't think your lifestyle increases in cost.
It really should. It's kind of ridiculous.
It doesn't say it does.
Like the cyberware thing.
Need one of those Stanner stair lifts, but with a harness instead, just to carry you up the stairs.
You get the tank one and just climb the stairs.
That one's horrifying.
Yeah.
You can put 60 cyberdecks on it.
Oh yeah, oddly enough, the biggest outspoken opponent of Blackhaven's, recent shenanigans, and someone who's been influencing and arming a great deal of the, insurgents, as Blackhaven and his government and the Knight Errant are calling them, is this man. And he's appearing a lot on the news lately as well.
Sorry.
That fellow.
Terminator.
Yep, that's his nickname.
Oh, sweet, the Vori.
Nice.
Why
And
is...
no one knows why they have a particular interest in fucking with him, but they are inciting a great lot of the outspoken shit.
Yeah,
Especially
Vori
for
are the Russian mob.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought the...
Huh?
So, Ron, could I roll knowledge Yakuza to see if I know any more about this place that we're going to?
Yeah, you could, yeah.
I shall pre-edge it.
If anyone has, like, organized crime or knows anything about Megacorps, they could roll it.
Would it be beneficial if I rolled Mafia instead of Yakuza, or...?
No.
I think he said they all use it.
Yep.
Alright, then I'll roll Mafia and pre-edge.
It's kind of like the little dark secret of Seattle, where they all meet up to discuss evil shit.
Yeah, yeah, it's Mafia then. It's a pre-edge, Yakuza. Pre-edged. Oh, yeah.
Do you say you're edging that?
Pre-edged, yeah.
Oh, you pre-edged it? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so you basically know almost next to nothing about it, just as much as Tex knew about it. You've heard it mentioned now and then. You've heard, like, a few, when you were with the Mafia, you heard mentioned from a couple of the more, upper made men talking about it every now and then, but they never really told you what it was about.
Alright,
You just
okay.
knew, like, whenever they had to talk with someone else from another faction or organization, and they wanted, like, complete secrecy and, like, the ability to disavow any relation, that's where they went.
Can I roll syndicates?
Sure. More or less the same thing. The only thing you really know more about it is, as I said, that was mentioned by Walker, is that it's run, or at least managed, by a dwarven rigger slash decker called Robert Christian. He's been managing the place for at least 8 years now. No one knows who actually owns the place, though it is well supplied and funded through a great number of basically private accounts that no one can really get into. So whoever actually owns the place is unknown. This man simply manages it for him, and he's known to employ a great deal of matrix protection and drones in mass, in particular when it comes to security. He also has a number of, other. He's definitely hired out mages and things to protect the place as well, because it's definitely got magical protection. And on top of that, as I said, it's odd enough, it's the one very secure place in about a 10-mile radius of that area of Tacoma. So it's clearly someone's bought it off. Like that one particular motel, that just literally that block of it is the only place that's like a double A for miles around. So
I guess I propose the pie. So, since round, if we all roll up at different times, all say we're coming to the same meeting, I don't know how much we'll have to drop this guy, but I could front most of it if we're getting paid for this job from her, while we're getting picked up. We all turn up, each at individual time, get a room of some kind, I assume, and then find out where she is, what room she's in, and I guess make a smash and grab, or try and take it more stealthily from there.
I mean, I suspect she can't spend all of her time inside of there. She probably comes out at some point. We could try to just put eyes on her, see if she ever leaves.
That'll take a lot of time, and unless Kicks could hack into the... I assume they have security cameras around there.
one would probably imagine they have something of the sort, yeah.
But,
They're probably secure as shit, but...
Probably have a host. Kicks, I mean, if you wanted, you could probably check to see if they have a host right now.
Yeah? Alright.
Yep, so hot sim, cold sim, Vior, what way are you going into the Matrix?
Oh, always hot. Always hot.
Okay.
Even in this weather.
So you look up the public Matrix outlet for that. Motel. Sorry, it's called this, by the way. On the Matrix, it looks like a simple 3-star motel. It's got fairly cheap rates, like literally less than 100 yuan for like a room for a night or whatever, which is fairly competitive. On the outside, like literally just looking at the Matrix, like for pictures in it, like literally just Google search, comes up as a very average motel. It like literally just looks like any motel you'd find on the side of a road if you were just like looking for a layover. Besides that, though, it's generally like there's very few cars in it. For like the kind of hotel it is, you'd expect like people will be coming in and out constantly because it's actually near the airport as well. But besides that, it seems like almost no one uses it. And the biggest giveaway is the few vehicles that are parked in it are either extremely nondescript, like black vehicles that have like basically got those license plates that blur when you want them to, if you know what I mean. They've got non-tint windows. They're clearly like electronically protected out the ass. Other ones are very rich sort of cars, like you're talking about Euro sports cars and other things parked in there. And there's only ever a few of them. And even like images of it, like you can find on the Matrix from like spook sites and conspiracy theorists, show that people spend very little time in that place. Like literally, someone will come in, rent a room for like less than an hour before someone else turns up. They'll also go into the room, and then both of them will leave after like 30 minutes, and that will be it. So clearly, it's been used as some sort of it's either very high class prostitutes or something else entirely. So also, nobody can get into it because the encryption around it is quite high, and there is indeed a host protecting the entire place. And I'm not talking about like a host, slave to someone else kind of thing. It's an actual physical host, as if they have, as in they have their own actual host. So
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And the host looks like in the Matrix. It basically just looks like the sign, the giant neon, like a giant neon, 1970s sign, basically spinning around inside a sphere, and that's what it looks like outside before you get into the host, anyway.
I guess I ask, is there any way we can look up more about this woman, like what her interests are, and if she has any particular fetishes?
Well, I mean, Kix can try and like learn more about the host. She just knows what it looks like. She hasn't got a mark in it, and she hasn't gone inside it or anything like that.
But not the host, but the
This
actual
isn't
woman.
the time, she.
But she does have a centaur fetish. So.
Got like an Ashley Madison account or something.
Yeah, Kix actually, as you approach the host, it's very clearly public. It's not trying to, hide itself in any way. In fact, it's like advertising and looks quite legit. And the second you approach it, it like literally spams you with advertisements. It spams you with like weekend deals and everything else, and it asks you, do you want to gain a mark on it so you can enter it?
Yes, I would like to gain a mark on you.
Okay, so it automatically gives you a mark, and you can just enter into it if you want to.
Yes.
Okay, so you're inside
I'm
it.
gonna end up dead.
And when you get inside it, it literally starts rolling like what you would imagine is like a 1960s sort of Western movie. And, some guy with a very, some avatar personality comes to you with like the big bushy beard and everything. He says like, howdy y'all, welcome to the, blah, blah, blah. And it keeps going with that, and it shows you about the rooms and the rates and everything else. And it's clearly like gimmicky as shit.
So cheesy.
Yep. So, I mean, if you want to do anything else, you obviously have to do like sketchy shit, because everything here is just public information. So
I kind of forget what I'm doing.
You could do a matrix perception and look for running silent icons, so anything they've got hidden within the public host.
Yeah, but for why?
Well, they
Just
might
get an
hide
impression.
something there.
Oh.
Just get an impression of what they're doing on the Matrix. So that if we do try to hack them or like hack their cameras, you'll know how hard it'll be.
Yeah, well, okay.
You could even just Matrix perception the host itself and ask for its stats.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
seems
go
the
for it.
straightest way to do it. That's just like computer plus intuition, yeah.
+2 for hot sim.
I didn't. +2.
I'll just roll 2 more dice. Okay, so you can ask it one thing.
Yeah, stats, please.
Okay, so you wanted stats or it's rating? Because the rating will just tell you the stats anyway.
Oh yeah, okay. Then the rating.
Okay, so the rating of this host is 3.
It's a decoy.
Get out of there.
Yeah, well.
Oh, is there anything else you want to do, or do you just want to leave?
I don't know. No.
Okay, well, you know the rating of the host is 3. It's clearly very public orientated, and it seems to clearly want to hide no secrets. In fact, it more or less the entire time you're in there, it spams you with offers and deals and partnerships and timeshares and all this other nonsense, and then you leave.
You might want to matrix perception yourself. See if anybody marked you.
Matrix perception myself?
Yep, because someone could have marked you without you knowing.
Yeah, Kix would know that because she's a Nova hot decker, so she'd know this could be a honeypot.
She's actually quite the novice, but yeah.
Don't
I know nothing about decking.
Don't tell the GM that. Yeah.
It's in my backstory, so it's not anything new. It's not news.
There is no marking you.
Okay.
What they might be doing is running 2 hosts, one public and then one running silent private, which has more hidden shit on it. What a lot of corps tend to do.
Okay, so anything else you guys want to do?
You can try and look for the hidden host, if there is any.
Yeah, but why? Why?
Just to identify the strength of their matrix security.
Yeah.
Stronger than rating 3. I don't Yeah.
Your rating 3 would be very low, right? So the question is it going to be a rating 6? Is it going to be a rating 10? That will sort of change our game planning.
Okay.
One thing is, if it's running silent, we need to be within 100 meters to find it.
Yep. You guys are way beyond 100 meters.
No, she can find it from outside of 100 meters. She just doesn't automatically know that there's a running silent icon, but she will get noise penalties. Actually, will she? Because it's a host. I don't think hosts have noise penalties.
They have penalties for the network.
Yeah, like if you're on the different,
Yeah.
Different
grid.
Network, yes, but...
Okay, so
yeah.
You're on a public grid, because you're in Aaron's old place, so that's -2 automatically. It's on a different host to you.
What's your lifestyle?
It's on a different grid to you, so it's -2.
No, she's in middle lifestyle. It's like your ISP. It's not.
Oh, she actually, she has her own ISP. Okay, yeah.
We're all borrowing her internet while she's here.
My internet. She's internet.
I just have an antenna sticking out my ass.
God.
Okay. Well, the host is on a different grid to you, so that's still -2. And then the noise. Will there be any noise?
Not for hosts.
There's probably just a little bit of noise because I live in Touristville.
Yeah, that would be, and the whole shit going on down right now.
But I think she could run Signal Scrubber, and she has a data jack, so that likely cancels out most, if not all of it.
Are you sure? You sure noise doesn't apply when you're trying to find a host from far away?
Yeah, it says that hosts never suffer distance noise.
Isn't that when you're in the host?
Yeah, I thought that was when you're directly connected to it.
No. Then you don't suffer the grid being on a different grid. I'll find the exact page for you.
All right. I'll be right back a sec while you guys decide what you want to do.
My character's still really depressed. I'm open in this corner.
It's okay, Murdoch. Things not as bad as they seem.
Why don't they love me?
Lady will bake bread for many more years. Do not worry.
What if the rioters get hungry?
will sell them bread. They will love her for it. They will protect her to dying breath.
It is delicious.
Don't worry about it. I plan to roam the streets later on today, or once we don't have a job. If I come across your old woman, I'll look after her.
Please,
I just leave it to Murdoch and I'm like, do not leave she alone with old woman.
I know of your proclivities. You probably will try and do horrendous things to her.
Saw him perusing cyber catalog earlier, was looking at Cyberdong.
Hey, if we need to break into a place, I could have put a
Need to compensate for something, she?
Oh, Amber, I would show you if you were my type.
So, the additional noise is 2 for you being in the barns, and an additional 1 on top of that for like the riots that are going on, so 3.
In total -2.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Is she here? Vermina?
Yeah, sorry. -2?
-2.
Yeah, -2 overall. Okay.
No, it would be a 0 because her hot sim cancels that out.
Oh.
Yep, so 2 more dice.
Yeah, they hid it in the Matrix perception rules. It says, for all intents and purposes, there is no physical distance to any host in the Matrix.
Alright. Let me just find the thing for hosts.
Do you want host stats, Warren? Because I know them off the top of my head.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it's got the rating, and then the attributes are the rating +1, +2, and +3.
Yeah, I figured that was with it. And everything else that isn't like a cyber thing is automatically whatever its device rating is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay. Alright, so you got how many successes? 3?
Yep, 3.
Okay, so you do not find another host. Or you just cannot see it if it's there.
Mm-hmm.
You could just like try again.
Okay. And it's not -2, right? It's 0, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just flat.
Ooh, wonderful.
Nope, you don't find it.
I have drugs.
I think I have some psych, actually.
Texas solution to everything.
But it takes like an hour to take effect, doesn't it?
10 minutes or something.
Okay, I couldn't remember exactly.
You should just make the character Towley from South Park Tex. I just gotta get a little high.
Okay, I've done some psych.
Remember, listeners, drugs are bad. Winners do not do drugs.
My disguise and impersonation are high enough. I could probably pull off Tally.
I agree with you, Giant. I agree completely.
Not you, Murdoch. You take your drugs.
Drugs are good for you. Look at that. 7 successes, baby.
What's your limit? Yeah, what is her limit, actually?
Limit would be data processing on her deck.
She can run a search program, though. I think it raises her limit.
Probably by 2. It's usually 2 for Matrix shit. What's the data processing on your deck?
Which deck do you have?
I have the Microtronica Azteca 200. Whoa.
So it'd be a base of 5, but I'm pretty sure she can run it's like browse or something.
Yeah, browse is
yeah, it'd be at least 7.
Okay. Then you do find a shadow host in the background, yeah.
Any questions?
Get a mark on it? Or have I already done that by doing
You
this?
do not have a mark on it, and you do not have any questions. You just barely saw it. But you do know it is there.
Okay. But can I roll something to get a mark on it, or was that just... No?
Yeah, you'd have to get a mark on it, yeah.
Yeah. Same roll?
Matrix. Let's get a mark.
I'd say do a perception on it first.
Well, I did.
Yeah, but...
Did you get any net hits?
No.
Do another one, so you can ask questions. So you're more sure about what you're doing.
Ooh.
That's a glitch.
Yep, that is a glitch.
You want to spend a point of edge to make that not a glitch.
Okay.
Because otherwise they're very likely to see you attempting to do shit.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't reset my edge from the last episode.
Hey, at least you got that one hit at the end there, because if you didn't, it would have been a critical glitch. That would have been really bad.
Okay, I've spent an edge to make that not a glitch.